Hello, this is Joe from Nerd in Korea. We're continuing our budget Mardu series with white card draw artifacts. Okay, we're looking at artifacts in white that are good for card draw. Okay, so as usual, our budget, we are looking at $2 and under, and we're using the TCG market value for that. First of all, not a sponsor. Secondly, you can usually find things below the market value, so it's actually pretty good. Okay, first up, wedding ring. This is actually a little bit above my market value or my budget value that I usually use. It is $2.02, so it's 2 cents over, but you can actually find it for cheaper than that. So I feel like I'm cheating a little bit, but not quite. Anyway, allows you to draw cards with an opponent and gain life with an opponent. So when you cast this, you're going to make a copy and give it to an opponent, and the opponent is actually going to get things from it, and you'll get things from it. So basically, this kind of helps someone else too, which isn't great, but it gives you card draw whenever they draw cards. So if they're, let's say they've got like a blue, some kind of blue deck that is big on card draw, and you know that, give them a copy of this, and you're going to be drawing lots of cards. Or same with lifelink. If they've got a deck with lots of lifelink, you'll make sure you gain life. Give that player a whole bunch of them, or give that player the copy, and then you're going to gain a bunch of life. Anyway, $2.02. I found it for I think $1.92 was the lowest, but anyway. Next up, this is another kind of weird one. A lot of the white card draw artifacts here are maybe not the greatest, but in the right situation are very useful. Okay, Norn's Wellspring gives a scry as a death trigger and oil counter. So it gets every time one of your creatures dies, you get to scry one and you get an oil counter on this, okay? If you pay 1 and remove 2 oil counters, you can draw a card. So there's your card draw. I would say what's actually much better is the Scry 1, right? The Death Trigger Scry 1, that can do so much work in the game. Especially if you got a deck where you're sacrificing things a lot. That's just going to be like scry all day. Alright, so yeah, again, that scry effect as a death trigger is why you want this one. Not really the card draw, so it's a very weird card draw thing. It's really more about card sorting, making your card draws count, than it is about actually getting those card draws off. It's a nice perk, being able to draw an extra one once in a while, but you want it for that death trigger, definitely. And that is 22 cents. 22 cents for that one there. Staff of the Storyteller. That is $1.40. Just in case I forget at the end. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 spirit with flying. So you get a spirit token with flying for casting it. That's not a bad benefit for something that only costs 2 mana. You get a 1/1 flying token out of it. It's not a bad little start, but anyway. Whenever you create 1 or more tokens, put a story counter on Staff of the Storyteller. So again, every time you create a token, including that one, you're going to put a token on, and remove a story counter from Staff of the Storyteller, draw a card. Okay, so you want this either with lots of creating lots of token creatures, or proliferate, right? It gives you 1 initially, so you can proliferate a whole bunch, or you want to be able to create lots of tokens. So I think white is a great token color in general. So yeah, the kind of, what is it? Selesnya and Orzhov have a lot of like white, black, white, green token decks. So this would slot into there very nicely. It costs 1 white, and you do have to tap it, so it is only 1 card per turn. which is definitely a downside unless you have an untap effect. But at the same time, I kind of like some of those because they do keep the card alive. Some of those limitations, people look at and go, not a good card then. Actually, if it is only on the battlefield for one turn and gets you 3 cards, not great. If it's on the battlefield for a long time and it gets you 1 card every turn, that's much better, actually, I think. Anyway, $1.40. Oh, please hit like and subscribe. Yes. Before I forget, hit like and subscribe. Glimmerlands. Okay, so this is, I think, another one people can look at and go, terrible. I don't fully disagree, but in Mardu, remember Mardu is very, very aggressive. You want to be attacking all the time with Mardu, and that's where this is actually pretty good. Whenever equipped creature and at least one other creature attack, draw a card. So the only thing you need for this to trigger is it's equipped, attack with it, the equipped creature and one other creature, right? So you kind of just need 2 creatures to attack. And what's really good about this is that it creates its own creature token, right? So this will create a 2/2 rebel. When it comes in, it automatically creates a 2/2 rebel and attaches itself to that. So there's no equip cost on the first one, and it's creating a token for itself. So yeah, a 2/2 that you can attack with right away, or not right away, I guess you need haste, but on your first, the second turn, after Summoning Sickness is done, you attack with it and one other creature and draw a card off it, like right away. So anyway, I think that's actually pretty good, really. 31 cents for that. Once again, the 2 casting costs, creating a token and having it equipped automatically, already kinda very good with that. But anyway. Frantic Salvage. Okay, this is an odd one to have at the top of the list, I think. A lot of people are going to go, what are you doing? I don't, once again, don't disagree with you, but let's just hear me out on this one, okay? Put any number of target artifact cards from your graveyard on top of your library, draw a card. Okay, so you're only drawing 1 card, but you're getting almost like, I think, even better than a scry effect, because as long as you're able to get stuff into your graveyard, you're getting whatever you want out, right? So any kind of sackable artifact, you can put back onto your deck and then draw it again and then use it again. We actually did a video on sackable artifacts, so that would be a great one to do, or look at some of those and get those in. A lot of them have very good effects. When you have to sacrifice the artifact, it tends to be a very good effect that you get out of it. So it's something where you can double down on that, especially if you have 2 or 3 of them, being able to reuse them becomes very, very powerful. So this is a card draw that gets things out of your graveyard, and you can use what you get out of your graveyard to get even more things. Again, it's only artifacts, it's limited to artifacts that you're getting out of your graveyard, but that can do a whole lot of work, right? If you've got any deck where artifacts are very important, even if you've got like a Boros equipment deck, I would say probably get this to make sure, like, if someone does destroy all artifacts, your game's over. Unless you got a way to get them back into your hand and back on the battlefield. That can be like, that can be a real pain in your butt. But anyway, 7 cents. Only 7 cents for that one. It is a niche one, definitely, but the potential it has is actually pretty crazy. On to the list. Wedding Ring, $2.02. Norn's Wellspring, 9 cents. Again, If you're getting it for the scry more than the actual card draw, so it's a weird card draw one. Staff of the Storyteller. Again, if you're making creature tokens, great. Otherwise, probably don't. Glimmer Lens, being aggressive and attacking. Basically what Mardu wants to do, 127. And Frantic Salvage, getting those artifacts back out of your graveyard on top of your library. It'd be better to put them just straight back into the battlefield, but like, you know, do what you can do. 7 cents for that one. Okay, anyway, take it easy.